Bonjour.
It's always amazed me that Birmingham has got this feeling of being a bit on the back foot. So we want to be part of putting Birmingham on the front foot.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Birmingham food podcast that is Breaking Bread, presented by two food obsessed mates, Liam and Carl. I'm Liam.
And I'm Carl. How you doing?
Those things, mate.
Yeah, sound. Buzzing.
Good. Yeah.
It's the last one.
We've made it this far, brother.
Yeah, we got to the end of the series. We're having a little break now till January, and we'll start again. We've got another long list of people to get on.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a roller coaster. Season 2 or 3? Season 3.
You know what? I don't know.
I don't know. Series 3 has been an absolute roller coaster.
I don't even know how many episodes we've done. I don't know what series we're on.
I feel like we were robbed of like 3 or 4 months due to COVID. Probably even longer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel cheeky when we say we've been doing it for 2 years, when really
It's 3 years, mate, and then it's not really 3 years because
3
we've had COVID for like a year and a half.
yeah. So there you go.
But we're here,
Still here.
and we've had some crackers.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to. I always feel bad because I say, "Oh, it's the best series we've had," but then, yeah,
Mate.
it's been pretty special, man.
We just get better and better. We're like a whiskey. We only get better.
Yeah, like a fine wine,
Yeah, well, that's us,
Vintage.
man.
vintage 2008.
I ain't even fucking joking. I think we're doing a great job. And anyone listening must also think we're doing a great job because they're listening.
No praise like self-praise, mate.
Mate, why not? If you know you're doing a good job, you should pat yourself on the back. There's not enough of that in this country.
Yeah, exciting year. Is it? One thing we wouldn't have expected is openings, and there has been a few openings.
It's been loads.
Yeah, it's been really good. Lots of exciting things still happening in Birmingham. I think Birmingham people, we're just resilient, aren't we? Like, you know,
Yeah,
worldwide pandemic. I don't give a damn, mate. I've got a restaurant to open.
yeah, man. I'm hungry. I want some decent grub. I need a beer.
Yeah, so
Get out there.
yeah, some wicked stuff. So this episode is pretty much all wholly dedicated to I would say the funnest bar to open in Birmingham for a long while.
It's going to be a very special place to go, and I'm very, very much looking forward to it opening. So this episode's all about Schloss. Schloss.
Mate, we've done a podcast with the creator of it, and we still don't know how to say it
I
properly.
know, I've been there.
He didn't correct us when we were saying it like that.
We'll go with Albert's.
Albert's, yeah, that's the name, isn't it? If you know, you know it's Albert's, mate.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's, oh, mate. We only had a limited time, which was good because we managed to keep to the interesting points. Because normally we waffle on and you have to edit it all out, but there's none of that with this one.
This isn't a 3 hour trying to squeeze it into an hour. This is a good solid, I think it's 35 minutes of gold. Like.
Yeah, we're really lucky. It's a lucky one as well because we've managed to get the fella that owns it all, Neil, and he's a great guy and his time is limited, heavily limited. To get the interview was good enough for us.
It's not like us jokers all the time in the world. The bloke's a busy man. He's a businessman, owns
Yeah.
multiple businesses, an entrepreneur, actually runs the pubs as well.
Yeah,
Has
he
a
knows
good
what
time
he's
in them
doing,
pubs and all. So not like us. So to be able to get a good solid half an hour with him was brilliant. You know, most places they only get like the radio interview. It's like 2-minute quotes and stuff like that. So we were very lucky to get that. Thanks to Joe, as always, from the relationship.
Yeah, absolute star.
I say Joe and Becky, everyone involved with the relationship, they're all absolute gold to us, aren't they? And we were able to record at their office, which was nice.
Really handy.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, this episode, it's all about, well, it's not just Albert's, they own Zoom off in Birmingham, so we get to talk about that a bit.
Rudy's,
Rudy's, which is like fantastic pizza.
We said, didn't we could have done a whole episode on Rudy's, really.
Yeah, easily.
Because we both love it. Well, lots of people love it, man.
But this is like a special episode because obviously Albert's opens on
It's Monday the 6th,
Monday
and
the 6th,
this episode
yeah,
is going out on Monday the 6th. Just a little secret: we don't record these intros the day that the episodes go out.
No, we do this after, which is why I get confused about everything.
Yeah, so this comes out on the day of opening. So now you can get online and book and go now, or just go after work. Go after work tonight. You know, it's nearly Christmas. Christmas spirit. Get out. Get in.
It's going to
there.
get on the socials and it's going to be on the feeds, and people are going to see how much fun this place is, and it's going to be a nightmare to get in there because it's going to be so cool and so much fun. If it's even half as good as the one in Manchester, it'll be one of the best places in Birmingham to go out.
Where else can you go on a Monday or Tuesday night and just have entertainment?
So even that Sunday, like Sunday day, just kids' entertainment on during the day while you're having your roast dinners, and then like every night of the week, something to do.
There's something for everyone, and everyone seems to really just flock there in Manchester. All ages. We spoke about it before when we talked about when we went up to Manchester to see it. Like,
Yeah.
I've
It's the
just
most inclusive bar I've ever been in.
yeah, and we can tell by talking to Neil like how much effort they put into making that the case. Like,
Yeah, they want everyone of all walks of life to feel welcome in that place, and as should be the case of every place. Unfortunately, it's not, but this place is definitely somewhere for everyone.
yeah, definitely, man. I hope you enjoyed this interview as always, as much as we had fun making it. Really grateful for Neil for his time and just really good chat with him. Really like getting inside his head and great conversation.
Yep.
Massive thank you to all for listening this series, and we really look forward to coming back next year. January we'll be back. I know I normally say that and then we're like back 3 months later, but
Yeah.
we've got stuff lined up for January, so we'll definitely be back
Yeah, we've got a long list for next year.
bigger than ever. I think next year might be with no, hopefully, touch wood, none of the big C.
Yeah,
I better not say the big C, actually. That's something else.
Oh yeah, that's not COVID.
Hopefully no COVID next year, and we can just plough along with all the exciting stuff we got planned, and we'd love to have you back. Have a great Christmas, everyone. Maybe we'll catch you at Albert's one night, dancing on a bench, eating schnitzel.
That'll be me.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil. Neil.
Hello, boys. You all right?
Good to have you on. Really appreciate your time. How you keeping?
Keeping good. Just driven down from Manchester.
Oh, you drove straight from there to here?
Yeah, it's not that far.
The hardest bit's probably when you get close to Birmingham.
Yeah, that's where the traffic does build up. But yeah, it was fine.
That's good.
It was a lovely afternoon, and the sun was shining, so it was quite relaxing.
Good. We like to get a little bit of history first before we get into the reason we're here. Obviously, we're here for Albert Schloss. How did you get into hospitality now?
Well, I was born in the north of Scotland, a place called Inverness, where my parents were involved in hospitality. And when I was about 6 or 7 years old, they purchased a small hotel. So between that time and when I was about 20, I lived in a hotel. So, I learned all kinds of aspects of hospitality, the doing of it, being a chef, being a porter, being a barman, being a gardener. And I watched my mum principally, because my dad was more the accountant type, and he couldn't really boil an egg, but I watched my mum, deliver her brand of hospitality from a young age. And there's lessons I remember with that from then. So that's how I got into hospitality.
So you seen that and you thought, that's for me, this is, or did you even have a choice about it, really? Not really.
Oh no, there was no choice. No, it was great fun. It was a tiny place, and over those years it became quite a big, development of a hotel with all sorts of sports facilities and all the rest of it. But yeah, it was after work and in holidays. After school and holidays, we all mucked in, which was great fun. And it was like I always remember it being a bit like living in a small town where everyone knew each other, and guests came in and out each, so it was a formative experience, and I look back on it with much fondness.
Hard work as well, though.
Yeah, it was hard work. It was hard work. We did. It was. We used to do 200 or 300 lunches and 200 or 300 dinners every day. And then it wasn't quite the same in those days. It was all the technology and all the stuff wasn't around. It was pretty much getting in and doing it. Which I worked with some pretty cool chefs. I remember taught me a few tricks, and it was grand times. Still grand times now, though. Can't be looking back.
A few bad habits as well in the kitchen back then.
I don't know. We did. They used to call me Jack Flash.
Jack Flash.
Because I used to flash the veg.
Oh, right.
In the kitchen photo.
That takes you.
We've not done a podcast with the PR in a room before, and Joe's going to be like, Liam. So did you go on to run the hotel yourself, or?
Nope. My parents decided to divest themselves of the hotel and go and live in Europe for the later years of their lives. They'd done that kind of thing for quite a long time, and made a pretty good decision to go and relax themselves. So that wasn't an option, and probably I may not have done anyway, because I went off to London and learned some new tricks down there, and then fell in with my pal Roy Ellis. We started doing bars, which is about 30 odd years.
Setting up your own bars.
About 30 to 31 years ago, we opened our first bar in Ashton-under-Lyne, which is I call it a suburb. It's on the edge of Greater Manchester. It's a hard little town. We opened up a pub bar there called Chester Moonshines. Very busy place, and from that point onwards, we bought quite a number of small pubs and nightclubs in East Manchester, Rochdale, Oldham, those kind of salubrious places. Yeah. Over a 3 or 4 year period, we did that, and that provided the base for what then became, we called it Inventive Leisure, and it's now known as Revolution Bars Group, which about 25 years ago we did the first one of them.
Oh, wow.
Or 26 years ago, actually.
And how involved, is this more you invested in them, or
no, we
you
did
set them up?
We invented that, and then did that for about 20 years when we moved on about 6 years ago onto pastures new. Nowadays it's all about Rudy's and Schlosses, Albert Schloss.
Yeah, so we should bring is this when you set up Mission Mars?
Mission Mars, yes.
And people won't know the Mission Mars side, but they'll certainly, Birmingham will definitely know the stuff that you already own in Birmingham. So you've got Zuma,
yep,
and Rudy's Pizza,
yeah,
and that's already in Birmingham.
Yeah, and Zoomhoff was a child of COVID. That site became available during the first lockdown. It's hard to remember which lockdown was which.
Yeah, they've all merged into one.
But I do remember we opened it really out of just during all the lockdown stuff. It was an extremely worrying time for lots and lots of people. We wanted to be not just preparing to reopen what we had, try to bring something new around. So Zoomhoff was fun, pretty good little project down there, and it also got us even more involved with Birmingham. Because I think you've just said, but we've got Rudy's Pizzeria in town,
yeah,
and we did think we were going to be in the position to sign the Paradise development, which will shortly become an Albert Schloss, launches Albert Schloss. So Zoomhoff is a very important foothold in town to bring connection between us and people in our industry, other operators in the industry, and critically entertainers and people involved in the dramatic arts, etc. in town.
Was it? Did you start Rudy's first before Albert's, or did Albert's come first in
Albert's
Manchester?
was first, and then Rudy's came quite soon afterwards.
How did you decide on the concept of Albert's?
In the past, as the Revolution bars, the idea behind Revolution bars was, flavoured vodka shots as a USP. The first one was done out like a Russian tea room, that was driven by a need to be differentiated, which is a word that's used quite a lot in our industry. Sometimes you get Me Too type brands, and they don't seem to hang around quite so long as ones that are genuinely different. So even O'Neill's Irish Bar, right, that's still around, and that is, it's had its authentic Irish bar back in the day anyway. It may have become slightly come away from that slightly now, but it is an Irish feel environment that sticks to its guns, and that sort of thing was in our mind when we were thinking about Revolution. So the vodka thing would give it its USP, and then we did Revolution to Cuba, and then that majored in sort of Cuban aspects of Cuba, food and rum, which is another thing. But over all that time, we've been thinking about beer halls, and beer halls in Germany and Europe in particular, and they're very interesting. Some of them are massive places, with thousands of people in there at times, but they're also a little dry, and very male heavy, and not very comfortable in some instances. So we thought about doing a beer palace rather than a beer hall, and one of the things was, we wanted to make it be much more inclusive than perhaps a beer hall would be, which, as I said before, generally speaking, they're patronised by lots of beardy boys and all that. So we like beardy boys, but we like all kinds of other people to want to come in there, and that's the thing. So that's what drove Schloss, and also at the time, this whole beer revolution was taking place, and with the smaller breweries popping up all around the country, IPAs, switching a bit away from lager.
Yeah.
Of course, Bavarian, although Bavaria itself is now brewing some interesting IPAs, and Czech Republic, the same. But their history is all about lagers, pilsners, and the beer business is still pretty heavily skewed towards lagers. So we thought, rather than going into the crafty thing, let's bring these crafty products across from Germany and Czech Republic, and provide an authentic, pretty much craft product. These products have been brewed the same way for the last 150 years, some of them. So we thought that's a great, unique hook for to be one of the basis of our USP in Schloss. And then we could add in, by making it more of a palace, we could add in this entertainment, which we thought would be attractive. That would be attractive to a broad kind of community. So we're hopeful.
It's 7 nights a week, isn't it, the entertainment?
7 nights a week entertainment, yep. And we built up to that in Manchester. We're going to be going from the start in Birmingham with 7 nights a week of entertainment. I mean, there might be the odd night or two, just because of the supply side of it. I'm not sure, although we've had a great reaction from the creative community of Birmingham. But we're going to go for 7 nights a week, and the rosters of entertainments will be on the socials pretty soon.
The beer is a really special thing.
Yeah, well, it's
isn't it? We tried the beer there, and it's just so much nicer than most beer I've had anywhere else.
Well, the Pilsner Urquell, which is one of our major lovely beer brands that we are really close with. That's an unpasteurized product that comes across from Czech Republic on a weekly basis, and comes to us about as fresh as it would be at the gates. There's a very big pub at the gates of the Pilsner Urquell brewery in Pilsen in Czech Republic, and it's exactly the same freshness as it would be there. So it does give it a different quality. You know, it's a pure fresh beer. It will never be served. Once we open the tank, we've got 7 days to sell it. Luckily, they go a bit quicker than that. These tanks of beer.
Yeah, I'd give it a go.
And then we got other Czech and Bavarian beers. The one that springs to mind is Polena, which is a Bavarian, one of the seven, six main pilsens coming out of Munich. It's a beer fest, one of the beer fest brewers. That's a slightly lighter pilsner than a Pilsner Urquell. So that gives a bit of range, but then I think we've got 17 other taps going on in there, with mainly lagers and pilsners, but also with some IPAs and some local brews as well.
It's good timing, because it feels like lager's going through quite a resurgence at the moment anyway. A lot of people seem to have done the craft scene, now they just want lager again.
Well, I think during lockdowns, people drank a lot of craft and a lot of experimentation. I think that's driven sales for them, it's in supermarkets and in pubs and restaurants around the place. But that experimentation has also got people into this, really exciting, attractive, and different products from other countries and our own country. Obviously, there's brewers all over the place doing it. So I'd say lager is being chipped away at by the IPAs, but lager is still a very big player in the beer market.
Yeah. Well, the people we know, more people just drink lager than drink craft beers.
Yeah.
And some have switched to craft and they've gone back to lagers now.
Yeah. Sometimes the simpler things in life can be good as well. Some of the IPAs are very fruity and exciting taste-wise. But
there's some great ones.
Just a nice pint.
Back to basics.
Yeah.
So what do you drink when you're drinking in Alberts?
I must say that in recent times it's been back to the Pilsner Urquell. I guess that's a little bit because again, it was completely shut down during the lockdown, so didn't get any of that for quite a fair period of time, and went back to comes in a frozen glass, which isn't a Czech way of serving it, but we love serving it in a frozen glass. I think it's an even better experience, and I must say, become re-addicted to it. That would be my drink. Might be my beer of choice.
It's not just beer, really, is it? 'Cause you've got the schnapps side of it all as well.
Yeah, schnapps, and we're doing our own flavouring of our own schnapps in there, which is really exciting and fairly crafty. Another job to be done. And I think the list of it's 10 schnapps going on the list there. Wow. We've got obviously have a range of cocktails, Albert's cocktails, and some the classics. But in this one, we've got a Ludwig's Tavern, and there's a special range of cocktails, a specific and only available in Ludwig Tavern. So that's quite exciting new thing we're going to be doing.
Yeah, that's going to be the little bar that's sort of above the bar.
Little bar that's upstairs overlooks the whole scene. Really, if you're in that bar, which will be available for a private hire. Just got my number.
I know.
That I think will be quite an interesting place to spend an evening with your pals, or for a birthday party or a
What's the capacity of that room?
About 50. So it's not massive. No. It's got a balcony. It's got some interesting games to play up there. And it's got obviously a full cocktail bar, so that's a little addition to the Albert's offer.
Be nice to sit up there and watch the mayhem unfold below.
I think it will be a very good vantage point because you'll be able to see across the stage, you'll be able to see the whole bar underneath and everyone around it.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see that procession of people coming in and out. So it will be a good spot. I might be up there myself occasionally.
So we've got serious on the entertainment. The entertainment's fantastic. Serious on the
alcohol. Didn't say what the entertainment was. Do you want to say what the entertainment was?
The entertainment was a mixture of stuff. Monday nights we'll be featuring local DJs from years gone by and more recent. The idea is it's called Back to Mine, and we asked them to imagine what back to when they were a youngster in their room scratching, and what was the influences of the music that turned them into the DJs that they are currently are now. So we get a little history tour of music on Monday nights. Tuesday night is Kunst Cabaret, and that is a bit of a melting pot for local talent skits, burlesque, poetry reading, ukulele playing, different every week.
You could see it.
And that's fun. You've seen it.
We came. It's brilliant.
And that's backed up with a house band. Wednesday night is our dueling pianos, where we call it Baby Grand Slam. Wednesday called Baby Grand Slam. And this is where we have dueling pianos backed up with a band, and we play requests from the audience all night long, and it's a pretty rocky thing. Lots of colour and excitement. Thursday nights where we seek out local and national touring bands, or tour around pubs in the area, or they might tour around smaller venues, smaller concert venues, or even larger ones actually, and that's always a bit different. So you get a variety of different kind of acts, music acts on Thursday nights. Friday nights and Saturday nights a house band, early show, and later shows. We have lots of colour dancing, promenaders, sometimes a little bit of cabaret in there. And then Sunday is a variety of entertainment in the afternoon, hopefully going to give lots of smiles to the family, the whole family. So you're going to find choirs in there, you're going to find big band sounds, you're going to find Walt Disney presentations, you're going to find gospel choirs. And then in the evening, we have our industry night, where we hope that all the youngsters, not so young, who have been working hard in the bars and restaurants of town, come down. We treat people from the industry to some special prices on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And we create a bit of a party for those people that have not been able to party because they've been looking after everyone else who's been out and about. Yeah.
It's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
You obviously take the...
It's called Testify. That's called Testify. On Sunday night.
And there's no charge for coming into the places to see this entertainment.
No charge.
No, it's really impressive. We seen the cabaret up in Manchester. But I was really impressed with the quality of it. Like, it's not just an afterthought. It was like top notch, wasn't it?
It's everything. We had a cracking night, and everyone we know that goes to Manchester, it seems like your place is the place to go in Manchester.
There's a lot of good places in Manchester. There's lots of good places in Birmingham. There's plenty to go around. But like I say, everyone's trying to stand out a bit different. Doesn't mean we're necessarily better or best or anything like that. But we do this, inclusive show, which has lots of different facets in it. But I think one of the things is it's always rehearsed correctly. Our artists are, encouraged. We create an environment where they are happy coming to their work. That's what we try to do with everyone who works there, actually. And and I know there's plenty of competition in the live music scene in Birmingham. Our one will be a bit different. It's kind of like, I think I was thinking about it actually in the car. We probably don't attract people who are who are very regular live concert goers. There'll be occasional. And we'll attract people to come to it who can be aged from early 20s to, late 60s and early 70s in on a weekend night. So to have that kind of appeal, it's pretty broad. So you won't find any single genre being played by our bands, and you won't find our DJs playing one type of music in the night. It will always be going around the houses, trying to get everyone in the room smiling. That's
one thing I noticed when we were there, is just how inclusive the place is, because we've seen every type of person you can imagine all in one venue, and it was a bit unusual to see, because it's not a common thing to see, but it was so inclusive, and there was so many, the variety of people. I think that's a function of it's a function of the strong marketing of some places.
So you market something really heavy into a certain music type, and you're going to attract a certain type of person in that case. We specifically didn't want to be like that. We wanted to be inclusive. We wanted to be, cool with any kind of sexuality. We have a really strong link with the queer community in Manchester, and I'm extremely proud of that. Actually, that we can, not just be having to market to that particular group. Those guys and girls feel comfortable to come in. The ones that do. I'm sure there's others that would prefer not to go somewhere else, but they feel good to come in and mix around with other people, as do, I hope, anybody from any community. It's an important part of our business. Anyway, it's something that, if I'm honest, we have to work. I think we all have to work on.
I noticed the Alberts. So a lot of places you go, if you got on the table and started dancing, you'd be straight out the door. Trust me, I know.
Well, the tables, it's the benches are good.
Yeah.
The tables.
Oh yeah,
The tables we reserve those for the singers and the dancers to have a little prance on. But no, the tables are a bit too high. The benches, we think we obviously want to keep people safe. It's just a bit of fun.
It's good fun though. Like there's a lot of places now. If you're a bit too loud or you're enjoying yourself too much, they'll get you straight out the door. But not Albert's. Like it felt like everyone was encouraging you to have a good night.
Well, it's having a good night and being your own self and having a great time is what we're about, providing an environment for people. But to do that, you have to have people who are also wanting to also agree that the first thing is people have to be kept safe, and they also have to be respectful of those around them. So there are limits to the fun that people can have. It's our job to make sure that people understand that and have a genuinely great time, but not at the expense of anyone else's great time.
Yeah, but I feel like you do a really good job of it, better than most, I would say.
Well, thanks for saying that. You're only as good as your last gig, so we'll have to keep trying to do it.
So as well as the great entertainment and the brilliant drink, the food that comes out of the place is phenomenal as well. Was that really
I think
important?
you came down to the kitchen, didn't you?
Yeah, we came down.
Met the boys, met the bakers. Yeah. So
it's not just restaurant type of restaurant food. You making bread in the mornings and selling it, and it's a whole.
We bake our own bread. We bake our own sourdough. We bake our own burger buns. We bake our own buns for the bratwurst. We make our own flatbread for the kebabs. I think it's part of the sort of culture that we want to be providing pretty wholesome stuff. We want to do it in a sort of sustainable way as possible. So the best way to do that is to get in raw ingredient, don't waste it, and make it there. So it's been like, cottage industries in the past. So you wouldn't normally find a pub, and Schloss is not a pub, it's a very big pub, but you wouldn't normally find in there, making everything on site. I think, pretty much everything we make. We don't make our own mayonnaise, we don't make our own ketchup. I'm trying to think, we do pick our own cucumbers, we do all our own baking, as I've said, we make all our own desserts. Everything is made. Our bratwurst, we get a guy in Germany to make them for us.
That's just sensible. Was that non-negotiable from the beginning?
No. Honestly, we had a guy making them
not so much the sausage, but I mean, like doing everything from scratch, like not doing what.
We're faced with the world is changing, isn't it? And there's all kinds of pressures coming out of the COVID-y things, our new relationship with our neighbours in Europe. Our whole workforce is now under pressure. We don't have enough people to do things, and it's been an enormous challenge for our kitchen teams all around, all over the place, to keep up with the demand that's emerged post-COVID. So never say never. We wouldn't be tied to the post on something. If something could be achieved, we should give the same customer delight, where perhaps with a food partner they could do that in a way that was more sustainable in terms of, you know, our ability to provide, you know, people to man our kitchens, etc. It's not. What I'm saying is, you know, there's going to be different ways of doing things, but as a general rule, we make our food. We're proud to be developing chefs and kitchen teams that make a hopefully delicious, well-priced meal experience.
We thought it was, didn't we? Really rated it.
The kind of difficulties in hospitality are like everywhere at the minute. Everyone's talking about them. With everything that's going on, do you still love it? Like?
Oh yeah, I love them. Yeah, we do.
I suppose you have to, really. It's not like you can half-ass it, really.
No, it's an industry like that. I'm sure in many industries, if you go in there and you're not committed to it, you get found out. And you don't have to. I don't suppose everyone has to love it, but certainly I do. I just, you know,
must be immense stress though.
Well, again, these days, you know, it used to be very, very stressful in our industry, but one of the things we have to work at is removing stress. You can't expect people to look forward to coming into work if they're getting fully stressed out. So we've changed lots of aspects of how we our team members work over the last 10 years. So I'm not saying it's not without its moments, but stress at work is something which we're definitely trying to reduce or eliminate from our environment. And Schloss, the best thing about it, I'd say the most important thing to make guests have a good time. If we can make our team members have a good time, then they've got a chance of making our guests have a good time. If you can't make your team members have a good time, you're going to struggle to make your guests have a great time.
It's funny sad because it did look real fun place to work, didn't it?
Hey, even the doorman was smiling.
Yeah,
That's unusual.
Why would you choose Birmingham as your second opening?
Well, Birmingham is
not London in particular.
Yeah, we've done a business, as you say, you know, Zoomhoff and Rudy's, but you know, in the Revolution days, we did some business in Birmingham. Birmingham is a massive opportunity. It's got quite a plethora of licensed operations in the centre of the city. It's an untapped opportunity in terms of, it's just the scale of the city. You know, it's way bigger than Manchester. It's always amazed me that Birmingham has got this feeling of being a bit on the back foot. So we wanted to be part of putting Birmingham on the front foot. Paradise Development was really attractive. To see Dishoom go in there was, you know, exciting, and they're fantastic operators who make a lot of right decisions. So that caught our eye, and that because of COVID, that site became available. And we just couldn't see past it. So we're delighted that we're coming to Birmingham, and really hope that we can create a new positive experience for people who are out in whichever time of the day, because we're open from breakfast time all the way through to near enough the breakfast time the next day. I think it goes for about 7 hours overnight, and then we go again. But yeah, so we chose Birmingham because it's a massive city that can take a massive big new bar, and I think critically, the people are good fun, and you know, we were able, you know, to make that connection through the Zoomhoff project, which showed us, you know, we'll be able to. It's not going to be the same as Manchester. Birmingham's definitely going to be different because it is different.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to see how that unfolds.
I'm sure it'll go well.
Was Albert's in place before you took Zoomhoff, or was it you took Zoomhoff and it was that good you thought, oh,
it's a whole. I think Digbeth is definitely a different market, isn't it? To where we're going. No, Albert's was. It was, you know, it was starting to discussions were taking place around that, but Zoomhoff, that all happened in 3 weeks from seeing the site to opening it. Yes, we went into. I think it was the 14th. Was it the 14th of July? It all opened up the first time. Was it
something like that? Yeah, we were just saying.
Something like that. Yeah.
Freedom Day. Are you keeping Zoomhoff? Is Zoomhoff's going to be its own thing as well?
Zoomhoff, yeah, it will definitely be working on down there with Zoomhoff. Yeah. So, but it's just a little less formal, isn't it, down there? So.
It's always busy. Every time we go past or try to get in, it's always, let me check if there's a table.
Oh, there's lots of exciting things going to take part, or continue to take part down in Digby, apparently. So, yeah, it's almost great.
So it opens on, Albert's opens on the 6th, Joe?
That's right, yeah.
6th.
That's right. The actual showcase is the 9th, but the Opus will be on the 6th, yeah.
And, you know, we're going to be doing our very best to get everybody in who wants to come down and have a look. So please do come down. And if there is, if we're a bit full up, I don't know if that's going to happen, I wouldn't like to presume, we'll be inviting you back as soon as we can to get something on us. So, but it's going to be a busy zone down there. We've got the German markets, we've got everything going on, we've got the ice rink going on, we've got the big wheel, you've got everyone else at it. It's going to be a bouncing thing. People can take the moment out of the schedule to pop by. We'll be extremely grateful to see them.
I'm sure they will in the masses, and it's a genuinely exciting addition to the city, and we both welcome it massively. That.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me, boys.
Thanks very much,
problem.
Neil.
Thank you very much.